You are listening to the Global Countdown, first broadcast on the briefing on the 19th of December.
Did just hear that jingle because it is Thursday, which means we're back for a final global countdown of the year with Fernando Augusto Pacheco, Monocle's senior correspondent and musical curator. Have we reached the end of the year, Faye?
We did. So with that, I have to do a special global countdown, right?
I mean, you've done quite a few specials this year. You've been leaning into the specials,
yes.
Which, I mean, no complaints. What is our special for the end of this year?
So today I decided to look at the most successful countries musically. And how did I do this? So basically, we have a global music chart, and they released the 100 songs of the year. So I've compiled what countries, what music acts, where are they from. You know, this is all data-driven. So it's not just Fernando's view on this.
This is what we do. It's data-driven.
It's I'm a data man.
Does that mean you would have picked other things if you could have?
I would probably pick other things. But at number 5, Chris, of course, maybe this is not a surprise, but it is South Korea. I mean, K-pop is not a fad. It's here to stay. And one example of that is the song that we're going to play here, which was the fastest song to surpass 1 billion streams on Spotify. So it is a big deal. This is Jungkook featuring Later with 7.
You're up around me and you give me life, and that's why night after night I'll be loving you right. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 days a week, every hour, every minute, every second.
It is incredibly catchy, right?
It is very catchy. It is incredible how far this goes when you say like reaching 1 billion streams so quickly.
The fastest. And of course, I have to say Jungkook is a member of BTS, the Almighty.
Almighty.
Almighty. I think they deserve that word almost for their importance commercially as well.
Was there a point where we thought K-pop was going away and then it returned?
Especially here in the Monocle context, I don't think it's going away. It's just not like the new thing, the new kid on the block. And I've always said, I think we should also look to other countries like Vietnam, who has amazing pop scene. So I think K-pop is just there. It's like, it's like pop.
It's the establishment now.
It's the establishment. So it's not the cool new kid, but they still do amazing things.
Well, let's move on to number 4. This is interesting. I don't know if I would have expected this country to be number 4.
Perhaps it is the most surprising. It is not Puerto Rico, but from the Americas, we have Colombia representing. Mm-hmm. Colombia has always been great with music. You have Shakira, Maluma, but this year in particular, there's so many artists. We have Karol G, but the top song from Colombia in the global charts was this beautiful reggaeton heartbreak song by Fade and ATL Jacob with Luna.
De mí y de mí y yo de ti. No supe qué día te olvidaste de mí y de mí y yo de ti. No supe.
It is interesting, Faye, that you sort of put reggaeton with Colombia in there as a mix. Reggaeton heartbreak Colombian song.
Yes, and that's the interesting thing, because reggaeton, you would imagine like shake your booty on a dance floor or something like that. But this is more kind of pared down, and I think he got inspiration.
Soft reggaeton.
Soft reggaeton. He was in Madrid apparently looking through a window, and he was looking at the moon because Luna is moon. And I think he'd just been having a few heartbreaks himself. So yeah, it's a nice track. And you know what? It's funny because it's from Colombia, but Italian radio gave the first opportunity for this track. I don't think it was going to be released as a single, but Italian radio liked it, and then it spread all over the world.
I do love how that happens sometimes. It is sort of random countries that sort of grab hold of something, and you kind of hear it there and nowhere else, but then it does eventually spread from there. Let's move on. Number 3.
It's Canada. Again, they're very quiet, but they're always very established in the world of music.
Canada's one of those countries I feel like you're often surprised to realize how many artists are actually Canadian.
Absolutely. And of course we have The Weeknd, The Weeknd. He was still in the global charts, but the top Canadian single of the year goes to 21-year-old singer. Her name is Tate McRae. The song is called Greedy.
But I said I will want myself.
It's an ode to female empowerment, the song. And he won it's very catchy. Won the Single of the Year, the Juno Awards, which is the Canadian Grammys. So, she's respected. She's there, top of the game.
Top of the game. Nice track. Let's move on to right here in the UK, which is number 2.
We're staying a bit closer. Yes, indeed, the UK, and I love this track. It's described as a retro-futuristic sound. It's a little bit gloomy. I still like it. It is by the singer from Oxfordshire, Artemis. I Like the Way You Kiss Me.
I like the way you kiss me. I can tell you miss it. I can tell it is. Not trying to be romantic. I hit it from the back just so you don't get attached. I like the way you kiss me. I can tell you miss it.
You're kind of bouncing along there, Chris.
I do. It is a catchy song. We have heard this one a lot over here in the UK, which I guess is not surprising given it is the most played song here in the UK.
Not surprising. But I have a feeling that now...
how much it's moved beyond the UK. Do we have a sense of that?
It moved a lot.
Global.
It's global. In fact, it was never number 1 in the UK itself. It did very well in the charts and number 3, but it was number 1 in so many European countries. I think Europe kind of likes this kind of retro-futuristic sound. Mildly gloomy as well.
Mildly gloomy. Well, I guess it's no surprise which country is number 1. We're just, what can I say, Faye? We're the greatest.
And let's give it to the US, because I'm here every week talking about, Congolese pop or Vietnamese hyperpop, whatever. But the US is so established, and still they are at the top of their game.
Just dominant, yes.
Very dominant, I have to say. But we have the number 1 single in the US and in many other parts of the world. I mean, he's a 22-year-old. He's a very sweet guy, very religious. It's a nice ballad. I have nothing against it. Let's play Benson Boone with Beautiful Things.
These beautiful things that I've got, please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. These beautiful things that I've got.
Faye, I do remember when this came out. I think you were doing another special and you were struggling to find countries where this was not number 1.
It was a struggle. And I have to admit, this song really dominated the charts. And one interesting thing about Benson Boone, he does amazing backflips, I think that's his thing.
That's
backflips.
Thing. Check out the music videos.
Power ballads and backflips.
Are we happy with the US? Are we feeling like they're putting out good music these days?
I think they are, and we had an amazing year for pop. We had Sabrina Carpenter, Chappelle Roan. It's still very, very exciting, and I think the other countries are still catching up, but the US is dominant in the charts, I have to admit.